Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to today's stream. Let me just get the stream music started as well, and then I'll transition over. Let me know if you can hear the music. Let me know if you can hear me. Let's go with a little bit of... where is it? Space Race. Oh, I need to mute my... Alright, I know you'll be able to hear the music, because I can hear the music. There we go. Righty. Transition into the game. Here we are. Welcome back, everybody, to Motorsport Manager. It has been, what, a week? Week and a bit since I last played this game. We got two drivers down in 17th and 18th in the championship. Not great. But we've had some good performances that have only really been spoiled by my incompetence. So fingers crossed we can kind of improve upon that. Coolman Games, hello. James, welcome. George, hello. Can hear you, can hear the music. Good stuff. Good stuff. So we're going straight into a race. Coolman can hear everything too. Awesome, thank you very much. We're going straight into a race. I'm going to choose... is that Gustavo Cruises as my sponsor, 10th or above. We'll get a little bit of money out of that. We do have quite a lot of money. What stage are we at? Munich, I think, is that halfway through the season? Where can I tell? Oh no, event 2. Never mind. Oh, I know what happened now. Yes. Marsh's wing broke, I think, and she lost a lot of places. And Tang, I think I messed up his refueling or something. Which wasn't great. Alright, in terms of parts, let's see what you've actually got. I'm just refamiliarizing myself with everything. Okay, yeah, I'm happy with that. Let's go racing. Can you hear the game audio as well? You should be able to hear some things, particularly in a minute when we're out on track. You should be able to hear the engines and things like that. We have good news for myself and George. We have very good news. The guys who created BR Trains, it looks like they might be able to help us with the custom liveries for OpenTTD, which is awesome stuff, and I'm very, very grateful, considering it hasn't been under development for, what, 2 years now? BR Trains, the fact that they're willing to help out is very, 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 very much appreciated. Especially because they didn't have to do that. They're doing it out of the goodness of their own heart, and I appreciate that a lot. So I might have an update on that in the not too distant future. Shall I put them out on mediums? And what's the... I'm really tempted to go for softs. But I mean, medium was recommended, so I think I'll go with medium. Right, you... I'm literally just going to guess the downforce, like that. Tyre choice. You're going out on the hards. That's interesting. This is one of the new rules for this year. There's now 3 dry compounds. In this case, it's soft, medium, and hard. Sometimes it might be super soft, soft, and medium. I don't think there's anything up from hard. I think the next one up from hard is intermediate. Alright, take practice. Let's do it. So I'm in no rush today to finish a certain number of races or anything like that. So I'm happy to just take my time during these practice sessions. Get a good gauge of what's going on with the car. And see what we've got. So Porter and Marsh, always the first out on track. We're building up a good reputation amongst the other teams for always sending our drivers out first. That's my phone kindly telling me that I've just gone live. Let's tell them to go absolute ape shit, shall we? Now, I might leave them out for their full stint, because we got time to burn these days. Porter's going faster than Marsh, which is interesting. Alright, they're quite happy with some aspects of the car, which is good. Yeah, we got so much time to burn now. It's almost, you know, beneficial to leave them out for, is it 2 laps, 3 laps, however long they're meant to be out for. I'm going to let them do at least one flying lap anyway, so they can set some practice times. There they are, Porter and Marsh with the fastest laps so far. That will very quickly end. Or will it? Maybe not. Marsh needs more downforce. I've not seen Porter... Oh, he needs the handling softened. Alright, let's bring him in. If and when you are promoted to the Asia Pacific Super Cup Tier 2 of 3, you should expect to pay double for car-related expenses. Additionally, there is an ultra-soft tyre compound. Oh, does that go above Super Soft? I didn't know that, actually. I did not know that. Okay, so Marsh likes the aero... No, she likes the handling and the gear ratios, I think that was. Whereas Porter likes the downforce and something else. Speed balance. Okay, so she needs more downforce. She told us that herself. So if OK is there, I reckon great must be about there. Let's switch this back. Now the speed balance, I'm going to tweak it this way a smidge. Send you out for 3 laps. And we might leave you out on the same tyres. Now you love your downforce and you love your speed, but you didn't like your handling. I think you said you wanted the suspension softened. So I'm going to put it to there. And I'm going to tweak this back up. Tyres, we'll keep... Actually no, I think we might switch you to softs, just so you can set an even faster time. See what that does. So Porter's going to go out first, Marsh close behind. Shall I tell him to gun it? I might tell Porter to gun it since he's on the softer tyres. Marsh, I really just want to get the race knowledge now. So I might just leave her as is. I'm impressed by the fact that they're still top. We're halfway through the session now. Alright, she likes her aero a lot better. Anything from Porter yet? Not seen anything yet. Oh, the handling feels worse. I'm sure he said he wanted softer. Alright, hang on, let's bring him in. Yeah, the good stuff, George. The Predator Underdog Challenge. The chairman pays you per race. What did I do to the handling? Did he not want it? Maybe he said it was too soft. I definitely saw the word soft. Okay, let's give you harder suspension then. I'm going to do that. Stints. 3 laps. Keep you out on the same tyres. Out you go. Marsh, meanwhile. I might as well bring her in on this lap. So she's got just enough time to get the car fixed, or tweaked, and then out again for the next. I just realised, apart from the sponsors' names, there is no red on that car. Very misleading. Essentially we have a blue and black car, which is what I have on GTA for my racing. So I suppose in that case it's quite fitting. Oh, I'm with the speed balance. Unless that's what was wrong in the first place. Okay, speed balance needs to come this way slightly. Like that. And that should put us back in great. I think I'm happy with it just being great. It sounds really weird when you say it like that. Alright, I'm going to set you up like this. Porter, should I bring him in? I'll bring him in. See if he's got time for one more. Just to see if anything, what I've done to the car and whether he's happy with it or not. Well, he's just said the handling's a lot better. Pretty sure he just passed through that car as well. So I was watching Quill 18's series again last night. I've been catching up. I've got like 12 more videos to watch in that series. There's the race where he was just talking about how well Kinney was doing, and she drove straight on into a wall. And the timing, whether it was intentional or not, I don't know, but the timing of it was perfect. So funny. Okay, so the setup here is now only good. So that was okay. And that was good. So handling really needs to be this way. Fraction more. I'm going to do it to like there. If anything, we'll hit great on the other side now. Worst case scenario. 3 laps. We'll send you out on... I'll also send you out on some hards because I'm just trying to get knowledge at this point. I'm really not fussed about lap times. If you drive like the wind, you should have just enough time, or maybe not. I was about to say you should have just enough time to set a lap time, but I think we'll just have one more lap and then that'll be it. That car just drove through the back of us as well. Alright, Marsh likes the aero. We might be on for a really good race here. If I can not make any mistakes, which is easier said than done, we might be on for a really, really good race. Porter came in just at the right moment there. Look at that. Great, excellent, great. And Ellie coming through now for her final lap. Happy with the gear ratios, good stuff. So first and second. Although how will we first and second? Costa set a faster time. I want to check this. Oh, that was their right. Got it. That was the most up to date lap time of Marsh, not her fastest. Stop scrolling. We're at the top. I want to see the top. Look at that though, the gap between the two of them. 0.002 of a second. Incredibly close. We're awesome, according to Mark Pavan. And that's the only time we're mentioned. Cool. I think I might swap Porter and Tang round at some point during the season. Go with race trim. And pit stop legend. Let's do that. So it's raining, which already I'm worried about. Everyone's happy with the cars. I need to put you on. So how wet is it at the moment? It's going to get very wet. I think I might start the race on wet tyres. And then change as it starts to dry out. They're probably going to complain about this, but I don't care. Hey Bob! Just about to win our first race, I hope. Although, chance would be a fine thing. Oops, did I just pull my headset out? Nope, good. Who watched my Batman video yesterday, by the way? Batman is back. There's 3 more episodes left after yesterday's one. There is one on Friday as well. And there will be 2 more after that. Usually if the displayed gap and the actual gap are 1 millisecond apart, then the times are less than 2,500 microseconds apart. Yes, because it's going to get wetter. At least 7 laps we can get on these tyres. Do you know what I should have done? There we are. Let's turn around. Try and face north as much as possible during these races, because why not? It is wet. It is freaking wet. So we're losing a little bit of track position right now, but a lot of these cars have started on inters, whereas for us, we won't have to change now when everyone else does. So we might be able to build up some good good advantage there. Bloody hell, we are right near the back. There we go, everyone's pitting now for wets. No problem, Bob. I've had a few people tell me they work whilst watching streams or videos. I kind of take that as a compliment. So I do the same thing. When I was doing uni work a couple of years ago, I had videos on in the background. It does help you kind of concentrate. It was either videos or music. There we go. Everyone else is pitted now for wet tyres, and we were already on them. So we are now leaps and bounds ahead. So it's all about car management now. So for example, you need to cool your tyres down a little bit. So we're just going for a leisurely Sunday drive at the moment. Where's my cursor? There it is. You need to warm up your tyres a little bit. You're about right. Look at the gap between us and third place. We were down in 17th at one point. Don't mess it up. Charming. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. I'm going to keep an eye on the weather. So it does start to dry out soon. So I think around lap 8 or lap 9, I'll start looking at perhaps pitting and going on to inters. But I'll keep a very close eye on the weather, because you never know what it might do. Right now though, fuel-wise, we can do another sort of 3-4 laps, both cars. And tyre-wise, we're just about breaking 50%. So it does stop raining around halfway through the race. Now it looks like 3rd and 4th are starting to gain on us. So we're going to have a very narrow pit window soon. Oh yeah, Redictor, apologies for that. You can stream in the main hub if you want to. The only rule is don't go on the OpenTTD voice channel and stream Motorsport Manager. That's basically the only rule. Fuel level a bit low. Yeah, I'm going to tell you to go low for a bit. I just want to wait for it to start stopping raining. OpenTTD. It stands for Open Transport Tycoon Deluxe. So it's an open source version of Transport Tycoon, essentially. It's completely free to play, and it's an awesome game. I highly recommend it. If you're interested in that sort of thing, of course. Okay, so I think Tang should pit now and go on to Inters. Don't need to worry about any of that. Should I risk a fast one? Yes. The M4J network is the OpenTTD voice channel. Main hub you said is fine, and I'll keep at my end of the bargain that when I see you streaming I won't do it. Thank you very much. Yeah, they're basically the only two rules, is do it in the relevant streams. So if there isn't a specific... Actually, I'm glad you brought this up. If there isn't a specific voice channel for the game that you want to stream, then the main hub is fine. If someone else is already streaming in the main hub, chat with them about whether they'd mind you streaming as well. And besides that, yeah, no conflict of interest with me if possible. But yeah, I don't mind people streaming on the Discord. It means the Discord is actually being used, which is nice. Alright, you can go hell for leather again. I think it's going to be Ellie's turn to pit now. We'll fill you up. You don't need to worry. We'll risk a fast one with you as well. When you come out, you can go for it too. That's very nice of you. Yeah, I definitely want to encourage more of that on the Discord. If you're playing a game and you want to stream it to other people, go for it. With some games it's the code/engine that is free, the assets are the only reason for the price. Sort of true. Things like Unity, I believe, if you use the Unity engine in your game, sometimes you have to pay a percentage to the creators of the engine. I think it's the same with Unreal. But games like, so RPG Maker, they don't require a percentage, and the Ren'Py engine, they don't require a percentage either. But sometimes, yeah, the engine you do also have to pay for. The code tends to be free a lot of the time, because anyone can do the code. As I've found out recently, anyone can do the code of the game. But the assets are a lot harder to do. It's like gold dust, finding someone who can make assets. It's one of the things holding me back right now, is I could probably code a game if I wanted to, but I can't really make assets. So I could do some really shit assets, put those in a game. You're both burning your tyres. Back up. So I reckon we're on a very good trajectory right now. If I get you to save some fuel, in fact, if I get you to save some fuel, a two-stop strategy would be perfect. Because by the next time we pit, it's probably going to be around lap 20, and we'll be going on to a softer compound, because I don't see it raining again. Doesn't look like it. So I think we're on a good trajectory here for at least top 5. Don't be fooled into thinking we might win this race, because I think pitting, a lot of cars will overtake us again, like they did last time out. Sabardo... Oh, I was about to say he's still on wet, but they crashed, so... So yeah, right now it's just about looking after the tyres. And I'm gonna change the tyres probably in 3 laps time for both cars. Although I'm keeping an eye on fuel levels. So I was kind of watching this with Quill's video yesterday. He pitted for fuel too early, and it really ended up costing him, because he ended up running out of fuel towards the end of the race. And it's kind of that thing of, you think by refueling that you'll get the same amount of laps out of your fuel tank, but you end up getting less. It's a real counter-intuitive thing. I'm going to leave you out for a little bit longer, Ellie. One more lap each. So Ellie, I'm going to pit you now onto... What do you reckon? Mediums? Actually, what's everyone else on? Yeah, mediums. It's almost tempted to go for softs, but considering there's still 12 laps left. Actually, I'm going to have to keep you out a little bit longer because of your fuel. I need you both to push. There's a massive gap between us and third. If you were to code a game, what would it be? Okay, now I'm not contractually obligated to not tell you anymore. I could talk a little bit more about it. So obviously I'm not going to tell you too much because I don't want anyone nicking my idea. But effectively, I want to create a game that's based around economy and sort of transport, but mostly trading. Like setting up a trading company, having a real-world economy, things like inflation, price changes, things that you do in the game can affect the price of certain items. Things like that. So it might not be everyone's cup of tea, but I'm really into games like that. And so many games now are based around combat. And I like games where you build something rather than destroy things. Right. Time to bring her in. I was just a bit conscious because of the fuel. We've got 10 laps left now, and I'm going to put 12 laps of fuel in. So we're going to be fine for that. Whereas you... Actually, I'm going to have to bring Tang in as well. So Tang's race might be screwed right now. Depends what the gap is between them both. If I can stack them... Actually, I might be able to do that. If I tell you to calm down a little bit... I basically want to open up like a 5 to 10 second window between these two here. So it might be a couple of years before my game gets anywhere near being made. But I can start playing around, because I wanted to make it in Unity or Unreal, but I can play around in RPG Maker for the time being and see what I can do with that. Come on, I need you to leave now, Ellie. I need you to leave now, Ellie. Alright, she's in third. Tang is struggling now because of that. That might not have been the worst decision in the world, though. We might have timed it just right to get a solid third place. I thought she ran wide then. Oh, God. The stress. Come on, Ellie. Let's get an overtake. We have such a shit car. I will cheer anything on right now. I might have to tell you to calm down on the fuel consumption a little bit. Same with you. And conserve your tyres. That's a really weird line they take through that corner. It always looks like they're going to run wide. Okay, the gap between us and second is opening. And the gap between us and fourth is closing. Remember that driver form is also a factor in driver performance. A driver with excellent stats is only as good as an average driver if the excellent driver has much lower driver form. We're on an 8 and a 6 right now, which I'd say is pretty good. I mean, I'd take 3rd and 7th. In terms of the driver standings, that would help us out. In terms of the team standings, that would be a massive boost. I might just do a brawn. Garner as many points as I can now. First place. I don't think we need to stop again either. The weather's good for the rest of the race. I think if we can hold on fuel-wise, we might have our first win. Let's get some heat back in your tyres, both of you. Jedard blocking Tang. I might tell Tang, but yeah, Tang, you can go for overtaking now. Push you a little bit more. See if you can get past. Come on, Ellie. I'm saving a little bit of her fuel. Oh, is that what happened? ...208 miles an hour through the start-finish line there. 3 more laps. So yeah, I'm going to save a little bit of fuel in Ellie's tank, so for the last lap, pretty much, we can push. Just to stop any last-minute overtaking. I will tell you to go neutral on your tyres. And you. 2 laps. Oh, please don't break. Okay, it's just the engine. Oh no, the suspension. Oh no. Ellie, no. Right, now it's 2 more laps. Now it's 2 more laps. Okay, you have quite a gap now. Is there anything I can do to preserve her suspension? Oh, is it behind the... Oh, I need to move the chat. It's 21%. Hang on, after this race I'll move the chat so we can see. Last lap. You need to... Come on! Come on, Ellie! This is it. This is what we've been waiting for. It's not in the red yet. Just as it starts to rain. Get in. First win. And Tang coming home for a 4th place finish as well. Oh, the euphoria. Now that was a hell of a race. That was pit stop management to a T. Look how many times everyone else had to pit. We ran a 2-stop strategy. And the game criticised me for starting them on wets. I really didn't like that Eurovision song. Which one was that? What, on the stream just now? Oh, Euphoria. Oh, Europhoria. Gotcha. Oh wait, no, it is Euphoria. 20 points for Ellie Marsh. 17 points for Bao Tang. It's Eurovision. The best song never wins. Look! First ever poll. Oh, that was awesome. You deserve your bonus for that as well, Ellie. Even if it might cost me an arm and a leg. She's moved up to 7th. Tang's up to 10th. And where are we? 5th. We are 5th. People betted on us as well. That was dumb. Never bet on the worst team. There's been a couple of times where I thought the UK has had a really good song, good entry, and we've come dead last. It's mainly because people don't like us. I feel really bad for Porter. He deserves a drive. But Tang came fourth. What do you do? Got sponsor money. Ah, c'est magnifique. Oh yeah, no, it is all politics now. It's the Eurovision politics contest. Let's do the interview. I like this one. If you're standing on the podium, expect to get soaked. So I need to have a good look at the car and find out why my parts keep deteriorating. Don't forget, links aren't allowed in the Twitch chat. So they are improving them, slowly but surely. Links aren't allowed in the Twitch chat. Yeah, Australia have paid to enter the Eurovision. They sponsor it. You know this, Redictor. You tried to post links last time and it wasn't allowed. Okay, so they are improving the reliability. So the brakes were shot. The suspension was the worst one. It's 80% though. We must really give it a drumming. When isn't Eurovision about politics? Exactly. They have an EU meeting just beforehand as well, and then they all go out and sing. If you want to blame someone for links not being allowed, blame the idiots who used to abuse it back in the day. I really want to design a new part. Maybe new suspension. Because having new suspension now would be good. In fact, let's go back to here. So I've only got 2 lots of suspension. The best one is 131. So if I can get it higher, well, that's already higher than 131. Now that would be really good. But it's illegal, so I'd probably be better off using that towards the end of the season. I think this. 800,000. Well, we're losing... There's 8 races left, which means we'll have around £4 million left at the end of the season. So that's £4 million effectively we can spend on improving the car. I'm going to do it. Right, chat. Boom. There it is. Don't know what that notification was I just got. Right. This is the 2 Brits, Tyler and Marsh. Is it? Your name's Ellie as well, isn't it? Oh, Ebony. Your stats are pretty good. TV piece. 100,000. That's an 1/8 of that new suspension paid for. I'll take the hit. Politics vote coming up. Phoenix. I'm going to vote against that. Yeah, I'm going to vote against that because it's the European. I don't want to sound like one of these people, but it's the European Championship. Alright, what have we got here now then? So the new suspension. If I could... let's drop this one and add this one. Get its reliability up. Stick it in the car. It's already better than this one. See you later, Radictor. Have a good one. I'm really tempted to do this. And in terms of a new part, I might develop new brakes. So currently our brakes, the best one is 249. Just do that. Goes up into 303. 318. So that one's better. What about this one? It's also 308. I'm going to do this. 650,000. It won't be ready for the next race, but it will be ready for the one after that. It's all about improving the car now. Right, addition of Phoenix. Do you know what, actually? I'm going to abstain. Build up a vote for the future. Martino Pozzi, Vincent... I can't pronounce any of these names. A lot of people are against it, though. They're probably in the same boat as me. It costs a fortune to ship these things to the US. One person. Who are you, sir? Why do you want to go to America so much? Actually, do you know what? So what have I got? Nothing new for next year yet. Was there something that showed the upcoming votes? Trek, welcome. Do you have any tips for new players to the game? Manage your pit stops very, very carefully. That's the biggest bit of advice I can give. Which sounds really obvious, but don't panic if you're in last place, because you can go from last to first just by pitting at the right time. So always keep an eye on your temperature in your tyres, always keep an eye on the condition of your tyres, always keep an eye on your fuel. And then try and eke enough of it out so that you pit at the exact golden opportunity to be able to overtake all the other teams. There's something called undercutting as well, which I suggest you read up on. And it's all about either pitting early. Undercutting is when you pit early and force the other teams to then pit, and you can overtake them that way. Overcutting is when you wait for the other teams to pit and then go in after them and try and beat them that way. So in real life, you do a really quick pit stop, you can overtake a driver doing that too. What time is it for you? For me, it's 15:39. I thought we were in the same country, Bob. If you manage to pass the goal of the Underdog Challenge as your own custom team, you'll get an achievement for that. Sweet. What is the goal? Is it to win the World Motorsport within a certain number of seasons? She's too good for us. Plus it costs us 4 million to break a contract. I might sack you for that, Miss Williams. We just had a 1st and 4th place finish and you're telling me that my drivers aren't good enough. Taking the piss. Alright, brakes are finished, but not ready. But I will start improving them anyway. So the new suspension is up to 75. I don't think I'll risk it in this race though. I think I'll leave it for now. But you, let's take out that one and I'll stick you there. Let's do that, and then let's also do that. I should have done that earlier actually. That was dumb. Oh, you live in the US. Fair enough. What time is it there? Are you East Coast, West Coast, Central, Mountain, Pacific? They are the 5 time zones, aren't they? Oh wait, Pacific is West Coast. Should I try and make a profit on this race? No, let's not be greedy. Let's do that. Part fitting. I'm not going to change anything. I'm going to keep you on the same parts for now. But next race, we should have the new brakes and the new suspension in and ready for Ellie. And Tang can inherit her old stuff. Here we go. Marsh, Porter. I'm going to leave it on defaults for now. 1042 East Coast. Nice. Bloody hell, those 3 seconds went fast. So the weather, I mean, we don't need to worry about that at all right now. The Underdog Challenge, take the worst team in the lowest championship level and make it win on the top of the highest championship. Okay, so there's no time limit then. It's just get it done. How cool would it be if I got these both spot on first time? It ain't gonna happen, but imagine if I did. Let's watch like this. Make it my mission now, have the camera pointing as close to north as possible. Where are we? Was it Milan? This looks like a lot like Imola, this track. Does anyone remember where we are? Hey, apparently if you hit, is it tab? Hey, look at that. So you can keep an eye on much more data. Learned that from Quill yesterday. It's a great little tip. That car needs to get the frick out of my way. Who is that? Who are you? It's either Tyler or Dreyfus. Get out of the way! Flying lap coming through. There we go. Marsh and Porter at the tippy top, as they should be. So I'm going to let them do their stint. They both had 2 laps, so I'm going to let them do 2 laps. We're good for tyres, we're good for time, we're alright for fuel. There we go, Marsh with the fastest lap again. Porter dropped down a fair bit actually, 0.6 behind. Interesting. Now they're both on their in laps. That is almost perfect. Oh god, I wish I paid more attention to their radio messages now. I think they're going to want understeer. I think something like that. And then I'll tweak you back. Stints, we'll send you out for 2 laps again. Might keep you out on the same tyres, just so we're not burning through tyres. Is it just me, or do they feel like they are really good drivers? Yeah, Marsh was last season as well. She was good. But I felt like there were times where she let herself down a little bit. Whereas this season, even with a really, really crap car, they're both making the most of it. And doing a really good job of it. So I think Redicta's advice to sign Marsh was golden. I really appreciate that. I might put you out on softs. That's probably why you were setting slower times, because you were out on mediums. There we go. Out you go, Marshy. It is starting to rain now, and I've just sent them out on softs. Who didn't check the weather? Dolt. This is going to be so bad. Alright, you're just going to do... You're just going to come straight in. You're just going to come straight in. I'll see what I've done with the handling, whether it's good or not. Aha! Perfect. So you can go a little bit more. Do I want to risk it though? I think having one would be fine. We'll send you out for 6 laps. We'll put you out on inters. Same with you. Put you out for 6 laps on inters. And I just want to get as much race knowledge now. So I don't think, even if I tried to tweak the speed and the handling and all that good stuff, I don't think there's any point. I think 3 greats and 2 greats and an excellent is pretty damn good. We've already set the fastest time. I don't think anyone's going to beat that now in this weather. So might as well just build up knowledge. There we go. The problem with this is we're going to be building up knowledge on intermediate tyres as well, which we may end up not needing for the race. But what can you do? Yeah, they're both happy. They're both happy. I'm happy. Final minute. Now the other problem we're having now is as you get higher up the rankings, you start from further back down the grid. And that could end up being problematic because we're having to do overtakes immediately from the get-go. So working with a 2-stop strategy in every single race, you do get the undercut or the overcut, and you get good overtaking that way, which is kind of what we did last time. You know, we started quite close to the front, but by the end of the first couple of laps, we were right down near the back because of the tyre compound we were on. So we had to come from the back. We made it work. I'm not complaining. Believe me, I'm not complaining. Alright, what do you got? I might put you on these 2. Because it looks like it's going to tip it down. I'm going to be starting on inters. So I might do you. Just so when we do change tyres it's quicker. You're both very, very happy. Yeah, start on inters. Maximum fuel. Good stuff. And you, inters, good stuff. And then strategy, let's have you go hell for leather, and I'll have you go, actually I might have you both go hell for leather from the start. Let's have a look. So by lap 5 it's going to be really bucketing it down, so we might end up being switching to wets. Oh, Marsh had a really good start and got blocked off by Gerard. That's annoying. She had a really good start. Tang as well had a good start. Tang's already made up 2 places. That's awesome. Tang's in a 3-car wide battle right now. Love it. Love to see that. That is proper racing. I was watching the Formula E again the other day, the virtual Formula E, and they created a fictional track called Electric Docks, I think it was called. And it's a really, really wide track. It's like a 5-car wide track, but the first chicane is only 2 cars wide. So watching all these cars try and funnel into this really, really small gap, it made for some very entertaining racing. Unfortunately, the guy who I was supporting in the invitational race beforehand got taken out on that chicane. Drove straight into the wall, which wasn't the best start. So yeah, by the end of around lap 5, it is going to get very, very wet. So I think I might go for the overcut pit stop. But I don't want to get too cocky. Because basically, intermediates can survive in wet conditions. So I might go the first 2 extremely wet laps and stay out on the inters. Mind you, we're going to be running out of fuel by around then. So that might be a good time to pit, thinking about it. Plus, we are soaring up the... soaring up the grid right now. I don't know if I trust the game telling me that I've got one of the worst cars when we're putting in performances like this. Alright, everyone else pitting for wets. I still think we can go 1 more lap each. So I think Tang, I'm going to pit you now and stick you on wet. I might as well fill you up with fuel while we're here. And I will risk a fast one, considering all the mechanics are good. And then Marsh, I'm going to leave you out for 1 more lap.